Oh, hey guys, how the frig's it going today? I gotta go downstairs and make some breakfast. It's currently 10 o'clock in the morning. I got up at 9 and just went and sat in the other room and chilled out. Literally chilled out. Why? I haven't replaced the furnace filter on my furnace yet because I don't have any. I thought I had a 3-pack and it turns out I didn't. I don't know how well that's coming through, but it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit down here right now, and I usually keep the house at 68. I know the furnace filter that's down there is probably not looking too hot because, like I said, I haven't changed it since was last year? Yeah, last year. I changed it last January-ish. Yeah, last January. What am I even looking for right now? What am I doing with my life? So before I even consider firing that furnace up, we're going to need to take a rip over to somewhere. All I have left is just the one carton of eggs. We're also going to have to do a grocery run. But I need to take a rip over to the Home Repo because they have a 3-pack on for $14. Last night we went fishing and I wish the GoPro had better night vision. We didn't catch anything, which is why you didn't see a video of it. I decided that because I'm doing the videos the way I'm doing the videos now, that just putting up an unsuccessful fishing adventure is not worth the effort. So might as well just put up the fishing adventures where things are actually caught, rather than we're just standing around and casting and not catching anything. Unless the commentary is funny, then freaking have at her, right? But if the commentary is just stupid and we're doing nothing except for being dumb and making comments, yeah, why bother? Why bother upload it? No need. But the only action that really happened last night was the gars were out in full force. We couldn't catch anything. We went to Sunset, which was the second place I ever fished. That's where I caught Kevin the sea bass. The sea bass. Jesus, Murphy. The white bass, silver bass, whatever they're called. At Sunset, there was nothing biting. It was just basically a game of casting. So we were like, well, what do you say we try out the dock where we went and we caught the catfish? We figured, you know what? The dock is really good. That's why it's usually pretty populated. A lot of people go there for fishing because it's a populated area. A lot of fish, a lot of different species that you can catch. You know, you can catch anything there. So we figured, let's give her a go. So sure enough, we're at the docks and we're, flicking shots out, sending worms out, catching nothing, not even getting a nibble. And then my friend put on her headlamp like I used for finding the worms. All of a sudden, she looks down in the water and goes, "Oh my God, look at that." And I look over and there it is. Another gar. Like a big, massive gar. I was like, holy crap. So I'm like, well, I want to catch a fish because I'm trying to film a video for you guys. And who wants to watch fishing videos where fish aren't getting caught? So I'm like, bring it. So I flicked my bait in front of it. And instead of enticing it, I scared it and it ran away. Or swam away. Because they don't really run, right? Because they don't have legs as far as I can tell. But then later on, her Oz went down the boat docks. Like they haven't had boats there for a while now. So she went down the boat docks to try and fish in another area where she knows that you can usually catch bass in that. Instead, she found a bigger gar. Like the gars were out hardcore last night and we're thinking that might have been what's frightening all the fish that we were trying to catch. So I took the footage last night, I put it on my computer and went, I got 9 minutes of footage. There ain't no way I'm making a video with this, and it's pretty much garbage. We didn't catch anything. The only funny part was the banter back and forth between me and her. And I was like, you know what, we're not going to bother. But yeah, we went fishing last night. And it was funny because there was a thing she said. We went back to her place afterwards and just hung out for a bit. We went to Walmart because I needed to get some bread. And some other stuff for another video that I'm cooking up. But anyway, and we were hanging out and we were going through Facebook and she came across this meme that said, if you're going to fish, winds from the east, fish be the least. Winds from the west, fish be the best. Winds from the south, fish be about, or something like that. And winds from the north, there is no worth. And last night the winds are from the north. And there wasn't a fish to be seen. I think I had a rock bass stick with me. I felt the bang, 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 and it took my worm off. And there was a couple times I cast it out right where it was to try and catch it. But I don't know if maybe my worm was too long on there, or maybe the fish just wasn't hungry, or maybe the hook was too big and the fish was definitely hungry because he was pounding away at my worms. Yeah, there was no fish, so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just not going to bother making a video about that. But today's video is going to be about going into that crawl space. But then I got thinking, guys. Like, all right, worms aren't that expensive, but I started watching videos on worming, like people who go out and catch worms, And then I came across a video where a guy made a worm farm. And I was like, wait, that sounds kind of cool. So I looked into it more. And apparently all you need is a Tupperware tote, like I have in the garage, some newspaper, which I don't have, but I have a substitute. Newspaper, and some like peat moss stuff. But you can get all that there. Oh, and you need black soil. But I can get all that from the hardware store today, from Home Depot when I go to buy my things. And all you do is you put your newspaper in first, your soil, top it with peat moss, throw in some salad that'll decompose, throw in 3 dozen worms, put it in a cold, dark place, my crawl space, where I got to go to change my filter, and just check on it every couple weeks to see how it's doing. And then bam, welcome to Worm City. You got worms for all your fishing next year. Don't need to go to the corner store because you'll have buckets full of worms. There'd be enough in there for me, Haraz, Struckus, whoever else. There'd be worms upon worms upon worms. I could probably even resell them to Billy Bob's Bait. But I'm pretty sure that they do the same thing that I'm about to do. So I was like, man, that's a pretty good idea because I really like fishing. And I really hate when you go to get bait and you go to a store and because they're not friggin' good, they wreck the bait. And then they expect you to pay like top dollar for it. That and starting of the year, like in May, worms are like $3 a dozen from the corner stores. And then come June, all of a sudden they're $4. And then they're $5. Like, they just start jacking the price. Luckily, the place where Haraz showed me, they're still the same price they were in the spring. So that's friggin' awesome. Today's mission, have some breakfast. Then we'll head over to Home Depot, buy some furnace filters, and get that furnace up and running because last night she dropped down to -1 overnight. And needless to say, I woke up in the middle of the night just for a reason. So you should sleep in a cool room, but a cool room isn't 55 degrees Celsius. Or Fahrenheit, sorry. If it was 55 degrees Celsius, the last thing I'd be wanting to do is turn on my furnace. Holy crap and a cracker. Alright, so let's go drop this French toast in the face hole and jump in the truck, head over to Home Depot, and see a guy about a furnace filter. Sounds like a plan. Alright guys, I did what I always do and I freaking do stuff. I was having my breakfast, watching, we're going through the comments on the previous video just to see what was going on and what people thought about my personal best catfish and all that fun stuff. And, you know, there's comments about, I get it, you missed the daily uploads. I understand. I know exactly how you feel. Some of my favorite YouTubers, when they stopped doing daily uploads and went to whenever the hell they felt like it, it kind of bummed me out too. I get it. I 100% get it. But the thing is you got to realize that I'm still working 8 hours a day. Like I'm still between YouTube, work, everything else. After a while, you just get so burnt out, right? Like you just get when you're constantly producing content plus working, everything's a brain game, right? Like you're constantly. I didn't even grab my wallet. I didn't grab my phone. Jesus, Murphy. I needed both of those things. We're going to go to Home Depot and grab the furnace filters. But like, when you're constantly producing content, trying to do a video a day, and trying to make it somewhat quality, so it's, you know, worth watching, not just something you shit together just for the sake of having a video out that day. Trying to make dedicated content versus making just a video. Like what I'm doing today, I'm making just a video. But, she looks cozy. Mouse? Hey, scampers. You mad at me? Probably. Like, yeah, today I'm just making a simple video. Not really simple. We're going to be going into the crawl space to replace the furnace filter. So, anyway, let's go to Home Depot. You know, let's talk on the way. God, it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these. Anyway, let's take a rip over to Home Depot. According to my car, it's currently 17 degrees Celsius out. I know that's a lie. It's only 10. All right, let's pitter patter. But yeah, guys, the whole creating a video a day, like it's really rough. It's a hard thing to actually accomplish. And I get the want for a video a day. You know, like I said before, I've had YouTubers who are doing 1 video a day or 2 videos a day at one point, where it's like they put up a video in the morning and a video 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. every day. And they did it for a while and it was awesome. But they weren't working. That was their full-time job, right? So literally it was a video every day or 2 videos a day and they were awesome, but you could tell they're getting creative burnout. And you know, when you're working 8 hours, especially because like the YouTube videos a lot of them are mental. It's a lot of mental work, not a lot of physical. Because you got to think of ideas. You got to come up with, okay, what can I do today that would be interesting to watch? Because nobody wants to watch you do the dishes. Nobody wants to watch you do laundry. Nobody wants to watch you walk around your kitchen. Hell, who wants to watch me change a friggin' filter on a furnace? Like, that's how ridiculous it gets. But for 8 hours of my day, and 8 prime hours of my day, I'm working. So it just kind of, it makes it hard to produce content on a daily basis. And like now I'm trying to actually focus more my content on topics like fishing, or, you know, like Bender, for instance, got the mower for free. Let's fix it up. Let's friggin' destroy it again and have fun. Go for a bike ride, bike vlog, talk about what's going on in the world in a bike vlog. One of those. It's been a while since I've done that too. Just the weather hasn't been too awesome for biking. There, my truck's finally saying it's 10 degrees Celsius out. Like today, the weather's beautiful for biking. Oh, they're doing that road too. Cool. It looks like the city's trying to really use up all their available funds so they can get more funding next year, because they're doing all sorts of roads around the city, like repaving them, re-blacktopping them. I don't want to do what I did in the past, like when I was doing the pandemic vlogs or the isolation vlogs, where I'd literally pick up the camera and just start spouting, because it made the content kind of shit. Like, people watched, mind you, the same people are watching now, but I'm noticing new subscribers showing up. They're not saying much, but they're showing up. So that tells me, okay, well, obviously I'm doing something a little better, where I'm getting new viewers coming in that aren't subscribers. Like a lot of my views are from not subscribers right now. Which reminds me, if you're new to watching these videos, give the subscribe button a click. That'd be freaking awesome. But anyway, what the hell's a little caution tape? Already getting set up for Halloween, for freak's sakes. But yeah, it was, one thing I was doing while I was having breakfast, though, is I read through the comments, responded to the ones that I could, and then I went into YouTube and started doing some research on worm farms, because I was like, it can't just be as simple as put in stuff in bin, add food, fire it in a corner, come back 6 months later, worms. And it's not. There's a lot of work involved in maintaining them. Like, you got to freaking water them every once in a while to knock all their, I can't remember what the guy called it, but it's like their urine, worm urine. You got to wash all that out of the bins, and you got to knock all the worm casings out of the bins, and all the freaking, it's ridiculous. Like the amount of, like he was going through it and talking about all the different work involved, and it's like, okay, I wanted to put it in the crawl space. Crawl space right now, because of the Bowflex, is kind of a pain in the ass to get into, I think. We're going to find out today. The reason why I wanted the crawl space is because it's dark, it's cool, ultimate worm breeding zone. But not if it's a pain in the ass to get into. I don't know if I want to be crawling into that crawl space all winter just to water the worms and that. And I was thinking, like, I buy a dozen worms or 2 dozen worms, and they last me a while because I'm splitting them in half and using them. Rex advised me to start doing that because of the amount of, like the size of hooks I'm using to catch the size of fish. There's no reason to load a whole bunch of worm onto it. Really want to be crawling into that crawl space all winter to be watering the worms and dealing with their piss and casings. So I was like, you know what? $3 every time I go out fishing for a dozen worms. Even if I start learning how to use the stuff I have already, like the lures, like the crankbaits and all that, I'd probably get some fine success. But $3 for a night out on fishing is not too freaking bad. Like, I'll take that, no problem. And I never use all my worms anyway. I use like a dozen worms. For me is actually 2 dozen, because I end up ripping them in half and using half a worm on a hook. Lately, the ones that we've been getting are like freaking garter snakes. They're so freaking long. So I've been using it, like, rip them in 3. So you end up buying a dozen worms and you get 36. Like the ones I picked up last night, like I still had some left, but I didn't know how many, so I went and picked up another dirty dozen. Those things were fatties. They were huge and so active. Like, they were the happiest worms I ever did see. Well, probably not after I stuck a hook in their bum, but like, they were pretty cool prior to that. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna bother doing the worm farm. Sounds like it's more hassle than it's worth. For the amount of worms that I use, I'd be literally giving them away to a bunch of people just so they didn't die, or firing them in my yard so that they could do worm stuff. Oh, do we got a line up here? I just need a furnace filter. For crying out loud, we got a line up here. All right, I'll be back in a second. All right, guys, got the furnace filters, and you know what else we got? Pretty sweet pack of batteries. They had a deal in there, $14.99 for 24 double A's, 24 triple A's, which I really need for my little flashlight lamp thing that I use when I'm fishing, because I don't really use. I have a lot of double A's because that's a lot of my stuff uses double A's. My lanterns that magnetic to the wall, remote controls for televisions, which I never use. But even my cordless mice use double A batteries, and my cordless keyboard uses double A batteries. But I don't really own a lot of stuff that needs triple A, so I never really buy triple A or acquire triple A or whatever. So I heard it's a good automotive thing to have, but I don't really get it. So because of this, I made the decision today when I saw that deal to grab those batteries. Mainly I'm going to put them with my fishing stuff. But I decided now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rip over to the grocery store because I need to grab some stuff for another video that we're going to be doing today. A little cooking segment, if you will. I'll give you a little brief look into the future. We're going to do a little cooking video today. A cooking with the hobo? Sure. How about bacon with skin? No, that doesn't work. So I'm running baking, so it's going to be a cook-off. Trying to make as much content as possible, so when I have weeks like I had, like this week, guys, I was just not feeling it. You know, I almost didn't go fishing on Thursday. Was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. I almost didn't want to go fishing because I was just feeling so shitty. Like, just garbage all day. And I might as well tell you why. It's like, you know, I'm trying my best to get ahead. I'm trying my best to do whatever it takes. Get another job that pays more. Even if I can get more hours at my current job, or a couple more bucks an hour, whatever the case may be. But it's like everything I'm trying, I'm just getting like thrown down. And it's getting to the point now where I'm like, I'm so friggin' depressed that I don't have the energy to do things. So to try and stay positive on camera really takes a lot out of me. Like, it takes a lot out of me. Because it seems like everything I'm trying to do is just coming up fail. You know? It's like you just can't get ahead. It's impossible. I bugged the bosses for more hours. No, this is all we can give you. This is all we can give you. But we love the work you do, and we're going to give you more work to do in the same amount of hours to really burn you out. You know, and people are like, well, if your job is such, you just quit. Well, then what do you do for money? Like, I'm telling you right now, guys, owning a house when you're single is probably the worst investment ever. Because it's like, I don't know, like, I'm lucky that my house costs less than an apartment in North Bay to rent. But if I was stupid and actually bought an expensive house back in the day, that would have been the worst move I could have made. I'm just straight up depressed with all the nonsense. It's like, apply for jobs and don't get in. And like, I've had 3 different interviews for 3 separate jobs. One was actually IT, and I didn't get it because I'm not ITIL certified. Because I never wrote my ITIL because I don't want to spend $1,000 for a certification. Meanwhile, I'm doing all the ITIL shit now. Literally pay $1,000 for a piece of paper that says I can do what I'm already doing. It doesn't make sense, right? So, and then you start talking to the contract company like, listen, this is what they have me doing, blood this, that, and they respond back and go, you're lucky that you're still working. No, I'm not lucky that I'm still working. You're lucky that they're able to keep me working so you guys can still make money during this pandemic time. Otherwise, you would go the way of a lot of these companies that went tits up. But they don't see it that way. But I'm sure we're all going through tough times right now. I'm just telling you the reason why. Like, I just haven't been on the top of my game lately. It's mainly because I'm completely down in the dumps. Love how it's like through traffic only. You're only supposed to go back here if you need to. And I just do it because I like parking back here. So screw their rules. Anyway, just figured I would share that little heart-to-heart moment with you guys and let you know what's going on in my life, because I usually don't do that very often anymore. And I figured, you know what? Frig it. Let you guys really know what's going on. That all the jobs I applied for, all were sorry, we filled the positions. And lately, I don't feel like I'm living my life. I feel like I'm surviving day to day. And let me tell you, that really doesn't do much for the mind. It really doesn't. Anyway, let's go get some food. Oh man, shopping during this is annoying. They just like reduced the social stuff in Ontario, eh? Because of go ahead. Because of all the outbreak monkeys. So because of all the new cases coming up, they're like, okay, we gotta reduce it to 25 people indoors only, and it's friggin' annoying because you still see people bringing their kids to the grocery store. But I guess if you got nobody to watch your kid because you're a single parent, then you gotta do what you gotta do to get shit did. Just shop later at night, maybe not during the day when it's super busy. But that's why there's a line up there, is because normally I would just get there, go in, get my stuff, wait forever to pay, and then get out. Now, taking a little bit longer because, well, there's a lot of people in there. It was packed. There was a huge lineup outside too. The easiest part was getting my stuff. Second hardest part was getting in, and the first hardest part was paying. They know it's going to be busy. I don't know why they have 10 tills but only 4 cashiers working. I don't get it. Like, the cashiers are behind friggin' bulletproof Lexan. Even when they're sitting until side by side, they're still encased in a bulletproof Lexan friggin' enclosure. They could literally run full staff in the afternoon, have every cash open, have people constantly processing people. Instead, they don't. I don't understand it. I just like that the government is thinking the reason why these outbreaks are occurring now is because we're not abiding by social distancing laws. All summer, from June until end of August, people have been hanging out and everything's been great. It's been awesome and nobody's been getting infected. School starts, everybody's getting infected. Figure it out. It's not the fact that we're all hanging out, not abiding by social distancing laws. It's the fact that school's back in session and kids are stupid. End of story. You know, kids are going to be frigging around all the time. They're going to be like playing tag and you're not supposed to touch each other, but they don't listen. They're freaking kids, man. Like, I remember when I was a kid, holy crap, my parents would tell me something and then, am I talking to a wall? Like, you know, because heaven forbid you paid attention to your parents. That's a nice friggin' bass boat. Kind of need that in my house. I bet you if I had a boat, I can go somewhere and catch some fish. This shore fishing shit sucks right now. Well, kinda. But anyway, no, they need to like close down the schools and do what they did last March till school was let out in June. Do the homeschooling thing again. I know it's rough on parents. I know it sucks. You gotta be home with your kid. It's hard to take time off work. I get it. 100% get it. This is the reason why it's going up. It's not because social distance. And the other thing I'm wondering is, you know, in the summer it was warm and the outbreak monkey kind of calmed down. We had less cases. We had no cases in the north. Like, it was nice up here. There was not a single case of the Rona. It starts getting cold and the cases are piling back on. So maybe what they said about it is true. This virus is affected by the cold. When it's warm, it kind of lays dormant like a flea does when the dog's gone. And then when it's cold, the virus gets spiked up and more hyperactive and ready to rock. And then it's more easily transmittable. It's like more hyperactive. Maybe it is temperature sensitive. We don't know. Nobody seems to know anything about this damn virus, so it could also be climate. Maybe sending the kids back to school is just a coincidence. Who knows? But ever since that happened, ever since kids went back to school, there was one day alone in Ontario, there was 600 cases. 600 new cases. We have 2 in North Bay right now. 2 confirmed cases of the Rona. It doesn't concern me. I'm pretty sure I had it back in February and all I did was, because I remember I had no taste buds and I ate a bunch of like hot stuff, and I remember my poo hurt, but I didn't taste it. So, like when I ate it, I didn't taste it. I didn't eat my own poop. Jesus, Murphy, guys. Anyway, I'll talk to you when I get home. Alrighty, we should be good for furnace filters for a while. He's got to go and inspect to make sure it's Oreo approved. Is it approved? Can it stay? Am I allowed to keep it? I don't know what you're doing. $14.99 for all these batteries. I forgot to mention you get a whole bunch of these CR 2032s, which are great because that's what my weigh scale uses. You get 4 CR 2032s, 2 9 volts, 24 AA's, and 24 AAA's, and like $15. That's a good deal. I'll have power for my flashlight, power for my lamps. I can get my, what did I want that for? Oh, my infrared thermometer so I can check the water temperature. And my weigh scale, $14. Power for days. For groceries, we got romaine hearts. Sweet. They had the big packs of beef on sale for $8 a shot, literally. I don't know if that's going to actually focus or not, but it's $8.81 for 1.3 kilos. So that's like 3 pounds of meat for $8. So I kind of went big and bought 3 of those. Never know, might make a chili someday. Also, I needed more eggs for French toast, so I ended up buying the last 2 cartons. They didn't have any left, so yoink. And for tonight's cooking show, I bought salsa. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck do you need salsa for? If you haven't figured it out, you're never gonna. Anyway, I need to rock a piss, clean up all my bags, and get into that crawl space. Alright guys, you probably noticed a change in the audio a bit. Basically, I'm using the GoPro mounted to my skull. Look, you can see in the mirror I look like an idiot. It is what it is. I'm gonna grab my fishing shoes. We gotta do some moving in the living room of stuff so we can get into that crawl space. Turn on the living room.
Sure, turning on 4 lights.
These aren't the awesomest shoes, but they'll be fine for going down here. Reason why is it's all dirt in the crawl space. Well, sand, not really dirt. Sure hope it's not dirt, otherwise I probably got raspberries growing underneath my house. Wouldn't that be something? Just gonna move my Abersizer thingy here out of the way. Get these weights out of the way. Alright, weights are moved. Hopefully we don't have to move this. If we do, I might just see if I can just kind of shift it out of the way. Maybe just grab from the bottom and turn it. Holy crap, this is like in there really good this time around. Usually there's a gap between the wood. Wow. One of these gets loose. I can't remember which one it is. Holy crap. I gotta put a handle on these? Like I need a pry bar or something to get under here. There we go. See, we numbered them so that you can tell what's for what. Ooh, she's cold down there. Holy. Before I drop down. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. What are we going down there for, guys? Let's go ahead. Grab one of these filters. These 90-day filters. That's all they're good for. If I ran an HVAC in the summer, like AC, I would have bought more expensive filters. But because I'm just running a simple setup of a furnace in the winter, and it only runs for 5 months out of the year, October, November, January, February, March. Usually by April I have it turned off. Unless we're having one of those years. I don't really need the expensive filter. Because you can get the filters that are good for like 6 months or a year even. But nah. Why bother? Alright. Man, there's a little cardboard down there. Alright, welcome to the abyss. I've shown you guys down here a couple times on previous vlogs. Usually it's around family day though. So, alright. Oh man, I had to get down on my knees because I gotta crawl for a bit. Let me tell you, this is not a fun place to be when you're a guy my size. Oh yeah, she's caked. Look at that. That's beauty. Oh, great. Oh, ever since biking, my knees are just shot. Okay, Shit, how did I pull that out of there? Yeah, like that. Does this have directional flow on it? This side faces furnace. Alright. That's easy enough. Sorry if you guys can't see down here. Once again, GoPro vision, you're kind of limited. Ah, shit. Let me drop to my knees. I'm not seeing a bunch of mice down here. Right, where is it? Yeah, this side, where's the furnace? Really? Oh, man. It's times like this I wish I had a freaking... Hey, there we go. I was gonna say a magnetic light, and then I clued in that this light is magnetic. There we go. We're filtered. Oh, let's see if we can get out of here with a clock in our freaking head. Oh, telling you guys. Worst part about this whole ordeal is the getting freaking low to the ground. Oh, freaking knees are just shot. That's why I haven't been biking much. Trying to get these sons of bitches to heal. But that should do it. That should do our manure. Let's go ahead and batten up the hatches, and numbers are on the bottom, eh? Numbers are on the freaking bottom, boys. Okay, so like my house is shrinking because this no longer fits. Take it out to the garage and cut it. There we go. Or just crush it back down and hope we don't have to go down there anytime near in the near future. Okay, mission complete. Friggin' furnace filters purchased, changed. This can go in the garage. In the garbage. Yeah, she was looking pretty bad, pretty gruesome. I replaced this one here. Was it last February? I don't know. But I'm gonna take it out right now. Actually, I'm gonna bring Stupid out too. Come on, Stupid. He gets so excited. He's such a little beaker. All right. So yeah, in the crawl space, that's where I was thinking of putting the worm farm, but man, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. And a buddy of mine just sent me a link, and it's funny, it was to an item that basically it's like a cattle prod, if you will. You hook it up to 120 volt AC, and you take it in your yard, and you peg a peg, and then the worms will come up from the underground in that area. What the hell? The hell's making that noise? Sounds like a duck over here. Huh. Oh, friggin' Oreo's all. I think he's done pooping. Yup, there's his pile. Alright, you wanna go back in the house? Hey, Stupid, you wanna go back in the house? Come on, Muppet. That was awesome. The whole time I was in my house, I just left the keys to my truck on the door. Man, I'm the best. I'm the friggin' best. Anyway, guys, that's probably going to be it for today. I know the night's still up on us, but that could be a potential fishing video depending on what's going on. Because I found the proverb. It's basically, winds from the north, sailors dare not set forth. Winds from the east, fish bite the least. Winds from the west, fish bite the best. Winds from the south, puts bait in their mouth. And right now, it sounds like...
In North Bay right now, the wind is blowing 13 kilometers per hour from the west.
So, looks like fishing is the best. So we might give her a rip tonight. I'll bring the old GoPro out. We'll see what we can catch. Hopefully we can catch something, because that'd be fun. I always like catching fish. Even though it gets super freaking cold out while fishing. I almost want to wear my gloves just to keep my hands warm while fishing. But yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll see what we do tonight, and we'll see if we make a video or not. But anyway, people, on that note, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And I'm going to put in a workout, have a shower because I feel gross, and life will be good. So until next time, guys, live to win, never give in. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.